I was not even known. Good morning, Mr. Ndzundzu.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Ndzundzu, we are going to ask Advocate Mele to administer the oath or the affirmation, depending on which you prefer. She will do so now, and then thereafter, I will ask Mr. Sandile July to outline what you are going to talk about and to take you through the basis. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Morning, Mr. Ndzundzu. Are you able to hear me, Mr. Ndzundzu?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. Are you going to take an oath or are you going to affirm?
I'm taking oath.
Okay. Mr. Ndzundzu, do you swear that the evidence you're about to give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If that is so,
Yes.
please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
Help me, God.
Thank you. Mr. Ndzundzu, you've now been sworn in as a participant in the SJN hearings.
And I don't know whether it is on our side or on your side. Your picture now was right when we started, but it seems... Yeah. There you are. Brilliant.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. July?
Mr. Ndzundzu, how are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Mr. Ndzundzu, sometime, I'm thinking around April, May, you submitted some statement to the SJN, to the Ombudsman.
Yes, sir.
Yet, that statement was then converted to an affidavit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that affidavit is in front of you.
Yes, sir.
And that affidavit is not commissioned by the Commissioner of Oaths.
Yes, sir.
But when you were taking oath, saying that everything that you are going to say here is the truth and the whole truth, that includes the statement in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, this affidavit that you submitted has got 5 chapters.
Yes.
Yes, you first give your background about you, where you started your cricket, right? And then
Yes.
chapter 2, you're talking about the rural cricket.
Yes.
And chapter 3, you are talking about Nuffield cricket. That Nuffield cricket is the one which is the Majola week cricket?
Yes.
Yes. Then after that, you talk about Passmore cricket, chapter 4.
That is correct.
Yeah, chapter 5, you're talking about your mine experience when you were playing for Mines and Free State.
Yes.
And then you talk about Good Hope and Willows.
That is correct.
You talk about border cricket.
Yes.
It looks like there are more than 5 chapters. But there's also somewhere where there is no chapter. But you are talking about the issue of license.
Yes.
Yes. Although you didn't give it a chapter, but you are talking about license being coaching and, well, not license, umpiring. Empires.
Umpiring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what you were talking about. And that's your last chapter. So all in all, there are 9 chapters.
There are 9 chapters.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Then you can proceed, sir, and talk to those chapters.
So I'm going to proceed, starting from my affidavit. In this affidavit, I tell my story in 9 chapters. In first chapter, I provide a background of my cricket career and where I come from. In chapter 2, talk about my participation in rural cricket. In chapter 3, I testify about participation in the Nuffield cricket. In chapter 4, I talk about my participation in the John Passmore cricket tournament. In chapter 5, I relay stories about my playing times at the mines and the Free State. In chapter 6, I talk about my playing days at the Good Hope Cricket Club and Willows Cricket Club. In chapter 7, I deal with what I consider to be the prejudice at border cricket. In chapter 8, talk about my experience playing for the South African invitation team. This chapter is followed by proposals I make to Cricket South Africa in respect of the advancement of transformation in cricket. Finally, in chapter 9, I deal with the lack of opportunities for Black cricketers in the coaching, umpiring division of the game, and make concluding remark. So I started background. I am Brian Ndzundzu from a Singata location in King Williamstown. I started playing cricket from a very age, being coached by my brother, a renowned cricket commentator, former Proteas selector, a former South African cricketer, and the best coach of all times. That is Peter Bacela.
Mr. Ndzundzu, I'm sorry to interrupt. Now that we have your affidavit before us, and it is also in front of you to guide you in the areas in which you want to talk, if you don't mind, you can now talk to the heart, from the heart. You look at what you want to talk about, your upbringing, and then you tell the story. But if you are comfortable only, you see, what I'm saying is, in fact, Mr. July, indicated that you need to just feel free and talk from the heart. You may use your affidavit as a guide, and you say, for instance, oh yeah, page 1, page 2, I give a background. You know what kind of background you have and what have you. And if you feel that there's something you have not touched upon, which is there, then you can always come back to it. But it's an engagement with us. If you can just tell your story, because your story is unique in the sense that only you can tell the story. But if you are comfortable with being guided by your affidavit, you are still welcome to do so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I come from a family that played sport in different levels. All my brothers played cricket that is Mteteleli, one of my brothers, we call him Bonsi. He played for Nuffield. He played for Pasmo 11. And Simpiwe Ndzundzu, he played for SA Police National Team and South African Student Team. Simpiwe is currently a border cricket president and a Cricket South African board member. And my son and my young sister, that is Nol Babalo, was the first black woman to play for the South African women national team. All this talent was unearthed without any fancy facilities, but we made do what we had, which was a cement slab that had no carpet. I played for my local club, that is Cape Aloes Cricket Club, which was playing in the rural tournament, Omakale Kusha. I was selected for Border Villages team that played in South African Week tournament. I did my schooling at Amantine High School at Kwamting village. That's where my Kayantini comes from, and other former border legends like the late Lutolo Koboshiane, who was also a national selector. Whilst I was at Amantine High School in 1980, I was invited to the Nuffield trials at Selborne College. And I was selected for the border Nuffield side, which was going to play in the current Kayamajola Cricket Week. I was one of the top performers in the tournament with both bat and ball. I missed the selection, even though in the last match I was told that it was a decider if I would make it or not. But I took 5 wickets in that match, but I didn't make the side. In 1981, I was selected again, and I played with players like Daryl Cullinan, Bradley Osbond. In person, I was also selected in the following years in the border team to play in Pasmo Week. I was selected in all those years in Pasmo 11 that went to play against senior provincial side. That means if we go to play in Eastern Province, the team that will be selected, the 11, will play against Eastern Province in a side. If we go to Transvaal, we'll play against the team that will be selected in Transvaal. I believe an approach similar to that Pasmo team should be followed by Cricket South Africa, where black players who did not make their provincial side are selected and be additional team for all age groups. Players need to be given a stage to perform, because the fact is that coach preferences play a critical role on who selected or not. In some cases, the involvement of parents also has a huge role. As a result, some players missed selection because there was no one to stand for them. I'm saying let's expand the pool of black cricketers by adding more black teams in those elite tournaments. like under 15, under 17, under 19, national weeks. I went on to play for Mines in the Free State, and I played for Mines after school. I went to the Mines where I played for Free State Country District side with the likes of Alan Donald or Ralph Cullinan. We could hope. When I finished there at Mines, I came back with Border in 1990s and played for Good Hope Cricket Club, which was the only black club that was playing in the Premier League. I also captained the side, which had former Border legends, Andile Sodumo, the late Mkhululi Mfenqe, and the late Andile Kwacha. I later joined Willows, that is Mdantsane, and I captained a team with the likes of Makhaya Ntini, Omonde Zondeki, Lefty Ngece, Malibongwe Maketa, Dumisa Andile Mcenga, who is a current CEO for Border now.
That Dumisa is not.
Not you, sir. It's Makalima. All right, sir. So I was also selected for Border B side, which was playing in the semi-professional way. I was later selected for Border A side when the team was touring Kenya, Satorishe Kenya up. Sasi captain was Peter Kestin. I was the first black player to play first-class cricket with Border. I have been an opening batsman and an opening bowler during my junior years. As I grew up, I was batting with top 11, with top order. The bowler with top order. When we talk about quality players, quality of opportunities, remember I said I was a top batsman and opening bowler. Or Ndibe would change, bowler would change number one. With Premier League, playing against the same Border players, provincial players. Premier League cricket was the best during those days, as the team also had professional players from West Indies, and professional players were available most of the time. I remember guys like Otis Gibson or Alain from West Indies or Tikolo from Kenya. They were also involved with provincial players. In the Border team, I would select it purely as a bowler and a number 9 batsman. But strangely enough, I would be the last bowler to be given an opportunity to bowl. Whether at number 6, in some cases, when the opposition is attacking our bowling, I would be asked to bowl. If I break that partnership, I would be rested immediately. Immediately. You break the partnership, could no have a break. That was indefinite. When our bowlers were in control or on top of the opposition, I would not be given an opportunity to bowl. ndibe yi-reserve ngexesha ndisebalini. I remember another match where I was batting at number 9 and the wicket fell. Number 10 came in. The coach sent a message that I should give this right to the number 10 batsman. That's when I said, they must tell that to somebody who cares. This was a sign of that shows the frustration. I was frustrated really by the petition at number 9. Kuthunyelwe a message that says, Mandi give a strike to number 10. What does that mean? Sometimes I would not bowl my full allocated overs, even though I was doing well. My first class stats tell the real tale. That was I was playing at number 9, but batted 11 innings. I was not required to bat in most matches. A number of matches, when I asked the captain to change the field placement, so I'm talking when I'm bowling, I asked the captain maybe to change the field placement. The captain would not allow me to do so, or reluctantly allowed me to. I remember a game with Border, when we played this, Sidlala a Border, Sidlala Nenatala. There was Unesh. Unesh was scoring quickly. And then we were chasing in leather, chasing ball. I was asked to bowl that ball. I took I bowled Unesh out. Immediately after that, that changed. Immediately after that, and he captain by then, but one player, you have to know, I must give a chance because I'm a bowler. I remember that game. The guy and Sinchai, he was fielding at mid-wicket. Damsa deep mid-wicket, a boundary. And then the captain said, no man, ball outside of stamp. But Nandi Bona would know le batsman. And the next ball, and I bowl, and that ball, a slow fast ball, slow bounce. Just started straight, it was a sitter, straight go and route. The main challenge is that
there've been a catch if they had followed your recommendation.
Straight. Straight.
Because what happened?
It went straight to where I placed that field for. But Ulando, I ain't a fool on the captain. So I ignore a lot of no man. Why? Because just ball outside of stamp, but I'm Nandi. I want good to know I can. But yeah, straight. I was fortunately because it went straight to Gui. So the main challenge is that when coaches see black players, they see someone who must bowl, and that starts from school, and it continues throughout the system. You keep on bowling, you can't bet. I must say, one really felt the differentiations as someone who was not working and coming from the villages. I had to pick up for the matches on the freeway. Ndipekewe ndiyodlala funeka ndiyome freeway or ndoma 18. When the players are relied upon for transport were not available, I would have to take e-taxi, tingela option again, with my bag, my big bag, that was the coffin, which had no space in taxis. Even when we have low matches, special matches, ndizawushiywa etown. Remember, ndihlala eKing Williamstown. Practice la East London. At times, umuntu endizawukhwela kuyi transport uzandixelela he's not coming back. Eqonce uzawulala eMonti. So funeka ngiyobekwa mna esiteksini. Noba kungo-8 ndawuzibonela phofu ndandizibonela ngogoduka.
And the difference between these two towns is in the area of 80 kilometers between East London and
80 kilometers or plus. And ndizakwehla ndiphinde ndiwalke or ndithathe another taxi sendiseMonti to go to Buffalo Park. So nxa ndibuya back azawundithatha if la player izawuthi no yena uzawulando isikhothi lando iBrian family so xa kuphuma imatch so funeka ndibonile. So when it comes to stipend imali, as a semi-professional cricketer, I did not know specific amount of stipend that was due to me when I was playing for Border B. Again, when I was selected for Border A side, I did not know how much was I supposed to be paid. I would sometimes get 500 rand from the team manager, which would be given to me in an envelope. I never signed any contract with the Border Cricket or signed for the money offered. This placed me at a situation where I had I had to accept what I was being offered, what was being offered to me. If it was fair or same with other players, I wouldn't know. Ndandingayazi tu, ndandinikwa mna ndedwa uba ndiyanikwa loo mali ndingayazi noba isuppose noba ibe njalo na andiyazi. There was no support in terms of the cricket equipment, except for ibhetheli one ekwakuthanda isponsorwa yicounty. Elbeth ndilisponsor for practice for matches. That's where Peter Pacela played a significant role in supporting me with the right equipment for the first class cricket. He made it his responsibility to ensure that I got intensive training in the nets. He would tell me that at first class, you won't get any half volleys. And therefore, he would go for my body. Bendinkwila, bola ibhamba endinkwila.
Now, you were trying to avoid being hit in the face by the... So you dip your head to avoid... I see.
So, and I had to face such hostile bowling. That really prepared me for the intensity of first-class cricket. Lastly, on border cricket issues, when one asked about Brian Ndzundzu, black people would say he was a great batsman, but white people know me as a bowler because they made me one. The support I received from Mr. Peter Pacela, Willows Cricket Club, Good Hope, and my brothers, my local cricketers, it was of top level. Like top class, support and I Paku. Diego is ASA invitation. I was selected for the SA Invitation 11, which was going to tour in Malawi. Some of the players I had in the team include the late Ululama Masikazana, waseBhayi, uRoger Telemakhasi, no Andrew Hall, you name a few. I also played for Eastern Cape Invitation that play against Pakistan. Sidlala kwaNtsela Manzi eDikeni eAlice. In view of the aforesaid, I make the following proposal to Cricket South Africa. Cricket South Africa to select a team of black players who missed selection in their provinces. Age groups to be part of a team that will take part in the national weeks. There should be a transformation fund to support development program for black players. Cricket South Africa and provinces to prioritize investment in areas that have no traditional, that have the traditional of cricket. Areas like upper border, from Emunti, East London, Uyoma Hill Town, Walanga cricket. Bakhona also Khanyile. There are offers Paya, Nomshibe, Soweto Cricket Club, or Shakes Roadbone, no Hargreaves. Now with PEEP, the Majolas and so Khanyile, no Menyuka, Bakhona pa. There's a need for quality programs, not event, to support black players. Umzekelo, kubekho i-camps, for betting camps, bowling camps, you name them, fielding camps for abantu. We need black African clubs like Langa, Soweto, Motherwell, to be invited with club champs. Ababonakala babantu bakhona uzafumanisa mhlambi babini abakwazi ukwenza iteam, but ufumanisa into yoba bangapikwa xa benokubonakala babe khona phaya. Iteam yabo iyaluza, but uba ungenziwa iteam, umzekelo mhlambi iteam esecaleni ufumanisa ukuba kungabonwa kuyo kubekho abantu abapikwayo kuyo. Clubs, universities, sites should be forced to transform by offering bursaries with black players. In most university sites are still all white, performance babane one, player emnyama. Fanele ba bazame kuba enforcwe kutransform kuzobakho iteam izotshintsha lento leni ibe igxibazange. Coaching and umpiring, this is another area that has been ignored by Cricket of South Africa. I started coaching Kai cricket as the development coach and acquired Udino level 2. I coached Equid Hope, Iwillows, Border, and later I moved and I was by Kabeh. Amongst the players I coached in my club cricket include Uluto Spamla Mugbendipai, Utlati Bukago. Uluto Spamla is playing for South Africa now. Utlati is playing for some of as franchise. Abongile Sotumo. Abongile Sotumo is one of the umpires. Naend Koshi, no Papa Mafotela, we could hope. You name them. There were no opportunities for one to grow as a coach. One did not even know what to do in order to get to level 3. Umzekelo mna ndamfumana level 2, ndahlala no level 2 is to be side, and yes, as it decide what Cricket South Africa. Cricket South Africa identifies who should attend, and there's no guiding document to say what one must have or do in order to qualify. Uhlala apho ungayazi uba mawenze ntoni na, mawuye kubani na, mawuthini na, unaye lo kwika level 2, awuyazi uba mawenze ntoni. I then went to umpiring after coaching. I've been a Premier League umpire with Border, now with Eastern Province. I was nominated in Border to umpire with a number of tournaments, which includes under 17, under 15, with varsity week. Kula varsity week, kune players as needs as a provincial players. What is said about umpiring is that I found people who joined umpiring after me progressing. And I was not given an explanation as to why I was not progressing. Ibibuhlungu loo nto leyo, ubona umuntu efika kuwe agqithe kuwe useme kule ndawo iyi-1, awuyazi wena.
Umuntu ongumafika izolo.
Afika izolo agqithe. I've been a cricketer for more than 2 decades, but white players would progress. I never had an opportunity to umpire at the provincial level. Don't andiyele kuyiland kwi-varsity week, ndaya kwi-varsity week, but in a provincial players. Bendidlala provincial, zange ndiyinikwe i-opportunity nandiyo-umpirisha kwaphaya. Nalo level 3 zange ndithunyelwa, andimazi uba umntu uthunyelwa xa kutheni na. Kufika abantu emveni kwam bagqithe ndilapha, bagqithe bahambe bayokwenza loo nto. Usubone umntu se-umpirisha kwi-province. Uxakiwe wena ube sisinyanya salapha kule lanto salo lanto. I could not come to any other conclusion except to say I was deprived of these opportunities because of the color of my skin. Ibhlungu ubona into yoba ngenxa yento yoba okay libala lakho eli and akuzukwazi uba mawuthini. My view is that as long as those who are elected or appointed to lead Cricket South Africa are not prepared to enforce change, transformation will remain a pipe dream for most of the African population. I thank you, Advocate, for the opportunity to be heard, even if it's such a long time. I volunteered to tell my story because, unfortunately, nothing has changed. Even today, we have a Protea all-rounder who played 4 matches, but 4 overs, meaning 1 over per match. Leaders are silent because they don't want to be seen as interfering in the team. Nangu Peshukwayi is there. You are frustrated. I thank you, President, Advocate. Engosi, ndiphelele apha.
Yeah, I want to suggest that we take a 5-minute adjournment so that we can see. whether we cannot, get an interpreter who may be on standby, so that when we begin the conversation with you, we can do it in isiXhosa, knowing that for those who will be interested in the translation.
I'll be more than happy.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so let's just adjourn for 5 minutes and let's see what we can do. Otherwise, you'll just have to tell a story in the language you are feeling comfortable with, and we'll see what we do with the transcription at a later stage. But let's take these 5 minutes and see what is possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So. You are not held in suspension. We're trying to arrange for somebody who will be doing an interpretation from isiXhosa to English so that you are free to express yourself in isiXhosa. So, yeah, I believe that we have found one, except that there are certain rituals that must be complied with. You'll hear from us just shortly. Where is the interpreter? Can you give me your full names, please?
My full name is Nokolo Nelano.
Can you spell that for the...
Okay. First name Nokolo, N-O-X-O-L-O.
Yes.
Surname N-E-L-A-N-A. Nelana.
Nelana.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are quite audible. There was something. There's something that is interfering. I don't know what it is. Like there is a scratch whenever you speak.
Okay. Maybe it's the microphone. Let me just put this.
Well, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. We'll see. Now, Nokolo Nelana, I have to ask you a few questions before you do interpretation. Are you able to interpret from isiXhosa to English and from English to isiXhosa?
Yes, I am.
Now, are you going to affirm or are you going to take an oath? Because I've got to administer either an oath or an administration, or an affirmation.
I can take an oath.
Yeah. Now, do you swear that the interpretation that you are going to give in these proceedings from the isiXhosa language to the English language, and if needs be, from the English language to isiXhosa, to the best of your ability? And if that is so, will you say, "So help me God"?
So help me God.
The interpreter has been sworn in. Mr. July, if you have got questions that you want to put to the witness, you can put them.
Yeah. Mr. Ndzundzu.
Yes, sir.
Paragraph 16 of your affidavit, you mention that I later joined Willows and I captained a team with the likes of Makayantini, Monde Zondeki, Lefty Ngece, Malibongwe Maketa, Dumisa Makalima, and Andile Mkenge. Now, my question is, these people, or at least some of them, they played at Makayantini Mondezondeki for South Africa, which is Proteas. What happened to you? Why didn't you get an opportunity to play for South Africa Proteas?
Not all.
Kwenzeka ntoni ukuze ungalifumani ithuba lokuba udlalele i-South Africa?
Ndavinjwa amathuba okuzibonakalisa. Ndavinjwa nethuba lokubonakalisa isakhono sam kuMzantsi Afrika. Kwavinjwa nethuba lento yokuba abantu abachongayo bangakwazi ukundibona. Ibhoda. Enkosi.
Thank you. I was denied the opportunity to exert and to show my talents, and also the opportunity for those who would be able to see my talents and pick me for the border team. I was denied an opportunity to perform for them.
Next question from me is, at paragraph 13, you make mention of coach preferences. You also talk about the parents that play a huge role. I just want you to expand on that.
No problem.
Could you please repeat the question? Sorry, I missed a bit of it.
I was saying in his affidavit, at paragraph 13, he makes reference to coach preferences that play a critical role in selecting or not selecting. He also makes reference to the involvement of parents, which also has a huge role in selection of players. I just want him to expand on that.
Okay, I hear you. We paragraph 13 uthetha ngokubaluleka ngendima, yes, yabazali ekudlaleni komntana nase. I think I missed that first part again. Let me fix my audio. Please excuse me for a second.
No, not all.
Can you hear me again?
Yes.
Okay. You were mentioning the two roles. Sorry, I've missed the first one.
Okay.
I know.
The first one is a coach, the preferences by the coach that play critical role in selecting, and also the huge role that is played by parents. So I wanted him to expand on the two. What does he mean by that?
Paragraph 13 uthetha ngendima ye coach ne ekwindima yakhe yokuba akhethe abantu ngokwentando yakhe nendima edlalwa ngabazali. Bafuna nje uba uzame ukwandisa utyebise.
Good. Yeah.
Indima ye-coach for ukupika abazali andikulandeli kakhulu, andikulandeli bothini nasisi.
Okay, ewe indima ye-coach ekukhetheni abadlali ngokwe right the preference yakhe ngoko intando yakhe.
Umbuzo ba ufuna uthi kawutyebise kule nto uyithethayo phaa ku-paragraph 13. Phaa ku-paragraph 13 uthi abadlali bafaneleke banikwe ithuba. Inkathazo yeyokubana zizinto ezikhethwa yi-coach ngokuthanda kwayo. Inabantu ebakhethayo ngokuthanda kwabo kwayo yona coach leyo. Uba uNdzundzu uzawungena etimini, ixhomekeka loo nto kwintando yecoach. Uba iyakucaphukela icoach mhlawumbi ingengakunyuli, uba iyakuthanda iske ukunyule. Yenye into yokuqala. Enye yesibini oyithethayo uthi abazali banendima abayidlalayo enkulu, kangangokubana abanye abadlali bayaphoswa ukonyulwa ngenxa yento yobana abazali bengena kwinto yokubana ngubanoma kadlale. Mhlawumbi abazali bayaya nakuloo mntu uyisilektha bathi imani umntana wam makangene etimini. Ingaba into enjalo le ufuna ukuba sifumane kula paragraph 13.
Ewe inkosi dada, ilolo hlobo ii-coaches ezikhoyo xa kupikwa itimu, abantu xa bapika itimu, uba ngaba wena ukujongile wafumanisa into yoba akakuthandi okanye mhlawumbi ungomnye umntu welinye ibala okanye abazali bakho akabazi, uba nelishwa longabi setimini. Loo nto leyo ibuhlungu kumntu odlalayo. Upractice, ucelelwe into okufuneka uba uzenze ezi zinto ugqibe uzenza. Uthi wawugqiba uzenza ungangeni etimini kunjalo. Ubone into yoba into oyiphosileyo yi-selection, otherwise yonke into ebifana uba iyenziwa ngumntu okufuneka epikiwe uyenzile.
Akefuneke xolo akayitolike ngesilungu le nto uyithethileyo.
Okay, so the problem with the preferences that coaches have over picking players include the fact that a player would perform to the best of their ability, prepare for the selection, but still not get picked because his particular parents are not known to the coaches or the selectors, and are not of a certain race. That therefore leads to most players missing out on opportunities they deserve.
Really? Yeah.
Abazali.
Now, at paragraph 18 on page 5, you say you have been an opening batsman. And then at 19, you then, no, not at 19, you say you've been, yeah, at 19, you say you were a top order batsman and an opening bowler. Then later on paragraph 28, you then say, black people would say, now referring to you, he was a great batsman, but white people know me as a bowler because they made me one. Why is it black people have to be changed from being batsmen to bowlers?
No. Paragraph 18 uthetha ngentoba wawuyi batsman evulayo ukwayiyo ne bowler evulayo. Waze apha ekukhuleni kwakho kwi-batting wayi batsman yenqanaba eliphezulu. Yintoni eye yenze into bana ke i-batsman ezikhoyo ziphele ziba zii-bowlers?
Into ebangele into yoba bendikade ndibhetisha ndi-top order batsman xa ndikeklabhini. Xa ndisiya kwibhoda, le nto ndibhetishwe number 9. Yile nto ii-players ezimnyama zindazi njengomntu oyi-batsman. Kodwa xa ubuza emlungini uza kuxelela uba ndiyibhowula. Because ndenziwe ngabelungu into yoba mandibe yibhowula, ndingabiyo batsman. Ndisitsho nje kusapota i-statement sam. I-batsman, soze uthathe i-batsman uyoyibhetisisa at number 9. Number 9 zii-bowlers, number 10, number 11. Because i-cricket ine-departments zayo. Ine-department ye-bowling, ine-department ye-batting, ine-all-rounder, ine-fielding. So mna bendisevisa kwilaa nto ye-bowling, bendi-all-rounder, manditsho. Most kwi-batting. Bendi-batting all-rounder. So ndibhetise ndinikwe ixesha loba mandibhetishe, ndanele, ndizibonakalise. And then abelungu bebengandiniki elo xesha. Ndinikwa ixesha lobhola kuphela. Ndingalinikwa nalo ngamanye amaxesha. Ndibhetishe ibhola number 9, ndingabhetishi. Le nto bendisithi ke ndiphela ndiyi-reserve esebaleni. Enkosi.
Okay, he would find himself in a position where at club level, he would be an opening batsman. But when it would come to playing for Bota, the white coaches would then place him at a batting level number 9, meaning that where he's positioned already is a disadvantage because most people who are in that position are bowlers. He would then be given just an opportunity to bat for a short while, but would mostly be bowling. And the only opportunity he would have to be a batsman is when he's playing for his club.
Let me be direct. Do you subscribe to the view that there are no black batsmen in South Africa? Or there's a shortage of black batsmen?
Uyayikholelwa lembono yokuba asinabo abantu abamnyama abazi-batsmen okanye inani labo liyashota?
Andikholelwa kwaphela leyo into. I-batsmen zikhona ezimnyama. Cha, azinikwa ithuba loba zibe zibe-batsmen. Yile nto bendisithi umuntu omnyama waziwa njengoba uyibowler, not i-batsman. Inkosi.
I do not believe in that view at all. What I do know is that black players are positioned as bowlers, not given an opportunity to become batsmen.
Last question from my side. At paragraph 38, on page 10 of your affidavit, you say, my view is that as long as those who are elected or appointed to lead CSA are not prepared to enforce change, transformation will remain a pipe dream for most of the African population. Now, I want you then to explain why do you think that CSA has been in existence for some time? Why do you think that the leadership of CSA has not been implementing changes, or they had no interest in transforming?
Paragraph 38 uthetha ngentoba ukuba abaphathi be-CSA abalungisi imeko batshintshe indlela i-CSA esebenza ngayo, utshintsho lwasoloko luhlala luliphupha for abantu abamnyama abadlala i-cricket. Umbuzo ke into yobana njengokuba i-CSA kudala ikhona kule minyaka, yintoni ekwenza into yoba ukholelwe ukuba utshintsho alukho kwindlela ephethwe ngayo?
Into ebangela into yokuba ndikholelwe kuloo nto leyo yinto yokuba ezi zinto zenzeka bekhona, bakhona aba bantu babekelwe into yoba utshintsho malube khona, makutshintshwe, kodwa akutshintshwa bekhona. Yile nto indibangela into yoba ndithi iyawuphela le nto le ikwi-pipeline, sobe iphinde ize kuthi.
The reason I have this view is because the current leadership of Cricket SA are there, and yet these things happen in front of them and they do nothing to enforce the change. This is why I believe that transformation will remain a pipe dream.
Do you want to?
No question.
Okay. Advocate Ngele wants to put a question to you.
Okay, but Brian, zokubuza ngeXhosa and then unoxolo uzoyitranslate lo mbuzo wam. Umbuzo wam umalunga no paragraph 26 kwi-affidavit yakho apho uthetha khona ngemali ubuyirhola ngexesha udlala ibhoda A nebhoda B. So into ithethayo but Brian uthi kubana ubungayazi ba yimalini ekumele ba uyayifumana njengoba budlala i-professional cricket or i-semi-professional cricket. So usithi bana ubufumani 500 ne i-team manager ibikunika nge-envelope So ndifuna understanda loo nto ba ibingadiscusswa nani imali benizoyifumana beningaziboni contracts and whether ba ibinguwe wedwa na umuntu bengayazi imali ekumele ba uyayifumana okanye nabanye ii-players ezimnyama bezingayazi.
In paragraph 26,
Oh, since mna bendingumntu oyedwa omnyama phaya, into yodiscussa zange ndisayine kwa i-contract kuqala. Bendixelelwa nje into yoba ndizawudlala endaweni ethile. And zange ndisayine contract uba ndizawuthini ndithini. Bendixelelwa nje uba kuzawudlalwa endaweni ethile ndipikwe ndihambe ndiye ekhaya. Zange khe kuthethwe kuhlalwe phantsi kuthiwe ndizawunikwa malini okanye kuza kwenzeka ntoni na. Bendinikwa nje kusithiwa kum yimali lena yentoba uzufike phaa uzithengele idrinki uzuse impahla yakho xa kufuneka iyohlanjwa elongri uyise phaa. Zange ndikhe ndithethelelwe ngento yemali naba ndiyabhatala. Inkosi.
when I was selected, I did not have any discussions to do with how I would be paid. There was no sit down to explain to me what I was going to earn, but I would simply be given this money to be told to use it towards paying for my laundry or any other needs that I may have. But it was not discussed in the sense that it was payment for playing.
Thank you, Mr. Ndzundzu. And then ndifuna ubuza tata ngala xesha lenu nina xa ningaselectwa umzekelo ngala xesha zange uselectwe after i-SA Field Week, like nani dlula kubani for ubuza ba theni ningaselectwa, like ayikhona na umuntu ayikwazi uninceda ngezikhalazo zenu ze-selection?
Unox makayitolikele kuba kaloku sifuna i-transcription ibe nawo nombuzo nempendulo katata Ndzundzu. Kawuyitolike Nox nale lo mbuzo usuka apha ku-advocate Nxele.
Okay, ngicela undiphindele nje please.
Okay, no, ndiyabuza ku Mr. Ndzundzu kubana after edlalele i-SA Field Week ngala veki xa ingakwaphela engaselectwa ke ngoku nangona be part of i-top 2 performers kulo tournament, ngoku ndiyambuza ubana xa benengxaki ye-selection bebesiya kobani bebedlula kobani, and whether ibikhona na like mhlambi lo eso structure for isikwazi uninceda ngezikhalazo zenu ze-selection.
Okay. Should I translate to English?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. During your period of playing for the border team, were you ever afforded an opportunity to address your complaints or have a body to take your complaints to, or any grievances that you may have during the time you were playing?
No. Zange silifumane belingekho bekungaziwa besingayazi bendingayazi into yoba ndingayoxela kubani na ndingayoripota kubani na. So i-answer yam ithi bendingayazi uba zange ndixelelwe ukuba kukho i-structure ekufuneka ndixele kuso. Into ibinye ebendiyazi ngeli xesha bendidlala kwina-field is that xa into ebendinexelelwa into yoba xa kuza kubuzwa umntu ezandibuza into kufuneka ndixele kwi-team manager qha. Xa kukho into endiza kuyibuzwa ngabantu bamaphepha.
Okay. So the answer is no. Throughout my time playing for the team, there was never any information given to me about who to go to for grievances. I was not aware of any person or body that I could approach when I have issues. The only thing that I was told is that should anyone from the press contact me, I must report that to my team manager.
Thanks, Ndzundzu. I just want to put, I think, one question to you, Mr. Ndzundzu. And it relates to what in your affidavit you mentioned in paragraph. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't unmute myself. Let me start from the beginning. I want to put one question. And that relates to what you say in paragraph 18 of your affidavit. If you could get to it. And you are saying the following. Let me read it into the record, because it's something that troubles me. I have been an opening batsman and an opening bowler during my junior years. As I grew up, I was battling in the top order and became a face change bowler. Now, and I think, of course, I'll just read 19 for you. When we talk about quality of opportunity, remember I said I was a top order batsman and opening bowler or change bowler at Premier League level, playing against the same border provincial players. Now, the question I want to put, because a picture is emerging that black cricketers somehow were thought by those who were in the levers of power to be only bowlers and nothing else. And you will correct me if I'm wrong. In these two paragraphs, you seem to be saying, but I was keen to do both. I was keen to be both a bowler and a batsman, because in that way you probably would be called an all-rounder. Is it possible that black players could be all-rounder in your experience at Cricket South Africa?
Kule ngcaciso uyichaza ku paragraph 18 no 19 apho utshoyo ukuba wawuyi all-rounder, uyi batsman, uyi bowler, wabe ungafumani ithuba lokuba udlale for iborder kulo mgangatho wawukuwo as i-batsman. Ingaba imbono yakho yinto yobana abadlali abamnyama abalinikwa ithuba lokuba babe zii-batsmen okanye abadlali as i-batsman xa bedlalela ezi timu?
eyona nto umbuzo abungqala khona into yobana ngokoluvo lwakhe ingaba ikhona na i-chance yokubana i-black player ingayi both a bowler and a batsman and excel in those two positions, hence abizwe uba yi-all-rounder. But kule system ikhona i-possibility uba loo nto ingeze yenzeke xa ndilandela le nto uyithethayo phaa ku-18 naku-19.
Should I translate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Okay. Oh, my.
Ikhona indlela, ikhona ithuba lento yoba abantu abazii-all-rounders bangakhona baninzi abantu abanoba zii-all-rounders kuthi. Into kunayo akufunwa xa befikelela kulaa mgangatho wento yokuba babe badlala phaa kwezi timu abayinikwa ithuba laloo nto. Njengam uba bendibhetisha kwi-top order, mhlawumbi kwi-top 5 ndikulaa top 5, yazazi ndibhetisha number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Ndibhole futhi mhlawumbi kwi-first change okanye kwi-bowler number 1, ndi-opene ne-bowling. Ibikhona loo nto leyo. Ngoko ikhona into yoba abantu abamnyama bangakwazi uyenza loo nto leyo, qha baya enforcwa xa befika bedlala kwezi klabhu zimhlophe okanye befika beyodlala i-province. Ufika umntu ebesuka kwi-province ebhetisha phaa kulaa top 5, uzawubhetisha number 9. It means xa ubhetisha number 9 wenziwa ibowler. Akunazo uthi uyi-batsman, uyi-all-rounder, uyobhetisha number 10. Zii-bowlers ezo, zii-opening bowlers ezo, zibhetisha number 9, number 10. Or else yi-all-rounder. And nalapho i-all-rounder ububhetisha number 10, it's a bowling all-rounder. Ixesha lakhe elinintsi lelo bhola, not elobhetisha, but he can make runs. So kuthi akhange sindilifumane elo xesha mna ixesha lento yoba ndingakwazi uyenza loo nto leyo. As bendingakwazi kungekho nomntu endinokuxela kuye. Mhlawumbi ke ngoku bakhona abantu xa edlala eklabhini yakhe uyaxela into yoba hayi kwenzeka into ethile. Athi nxa exela eklabhini yakhe, iklabhu izame uyokhontaktha lo mntu udlalisayo. Umzekelo, ngexesha bendikuGood Hope, ndikhowusha iGood Hope, ndabuza uAbongile uSodumo, ndibuza kwii-coaches zebhoda uba yintoni abangela uba uAbongile abe ngunamba aphathe idrinki ngaphandle ebaleni. Kodwa no, it is because uyabethwa nguNelani kwi-Iland. Ndathi but ibhethi yi-wicket keeper yodwa na wabe engucontender ekunumber 3 kwibhoda, kunumber 3, kodwa kwi-Iland akangeni. So yiloo nto ndithi zikhona kodwa azenziwa. Usenoba yi-all-rounder ube yi-wicket keeper ube yi-batsman, ube yi-wicket keeper uyi-wicket keeper batsman. So uba uyabethwa yenye i-wicket keeper ibe ingazenzi runs zona kunawe, uthathwe as i-batsman only ubhetishe apha etimini. Ikhona ithuba elinjalo, qha alisetyenziswa, alenziwa malibe khona. Enkosi tata.
There are many players who are capable of being all-rounders, but they do not get the opportunity to do that because they are placed in positions where they play as batsmen mostly. I am an example of an all-rounder who was a opening batsman, but would be placed at number 9, meaning that I would get less time batting and I would be seen as a bowler rather. There are many other examples in local teams that move from their club to maybe the white-owned teams and even province, where a player would arrive as a batsman but find himself being picked as a bowler or being played in the bottom tier of batsmen.
Thank you very much. That was the one question, because, you know, it has come up now and again as an observation that most, if not the majority, of black cricket players since 1991 have been your bowlers. And if they do take the bet, like Makayantini on an odd occasion would do, it would be clear that they do not excel in being batsmen, even if they excel in being bowlers. But what I can't understand is, why should black players be channeled into being either a bowler or a batsman? Just forgetting for the moment about wicket keepers and fielders and what have you. Why can't they be both? What should be done by way of exposure to make sure that one gets an opportunity to express him or herself, because there's women cricket, in all these divisions, but particularly as a bowler and as a batsman, because the word all-rounder would never have come about in cricket if there were no people who were able to do both batting and bowling with equal excellence. What's your views? What's your thoughts about that?
Ngokwembono yakho intoni eyenza into yobana abadlali abamnyama baqhutyelwe ekubeni umntu abe yi-batsman okanye abe yi-bowler? Yintoni ebangela into yobana bangakhuthazwa ukuba babe zii-all-rounder ngokwezimvo zakho?
Mna ngokunokwam andikwazi ukuthi yintoni na, because umntu ufika phaya andizawuthi ngumona kuphela, because ngumona qha ilizwe elipheleleyo. Uba ungathi umntu umbona into yoba angazenza zombini ezi zinto, umqhubele kwinto enye, angazokwazi ziindlela zomvimba nethuba lento yoba angangena etimini. Because uba all-rounder, manintsi amathuba ongena etimini. Xa ulaa nto uyibhowula, if uyibhowula, linye ithuba lakho longena etimini, ubhola qha. If uyi-batsman, unamathuba mhlawumbi ungakwazi ufieldisha. Khona ithuba lento yoba ubona abantu abafana no-Jonty Rhodes, ufumanisa uba uba umplace endaweni ethile, laa mntu anganqanda ii-runs noba ziyi-50 engekabhedishi. So lo mntu lowo unethuba lento eninzi. But kuthi siqhutyelwa umntu omnyama waziwa njengoba makagibisele ibhola kuphela, not abhedishe. Yiloo nto uzawubona abantu uzawufumana ii-cricketers zethu zonke uzawufumanisa uba zii-bowlers. Noba ubentu bebhedishe. Afika apha kule ndawo, afike kule nto axinge. Noba ebesiza phaa edlala esenza ii-runs eklabhini yakhe ubona uba yi-all-rounder lena, umsaphaya uzawuba yi-all-rounder. Xa efika phaya, ufika kwakhe phaa uzawubuya esele engaseyiyo yonke le nto benicinga uba nina uyiyo. Andiyazi into yoba kunoba kutheni na. I-wicket keeper uzawufumanisa into yoba ii-wicket keeper zethu zibhedisha ngonumber 9, unumber 9 nonumber 10. But i-wicket keeper ubona uba i-wicket keeper inga-open i-betting, because i-wicket keeper usemva kwe-wickets unethuba elinintsi lobona zonke iitrack, ibhola ihamba njani na, ibhola iza njani na. Ngoyena mntu ebefana uba abe yi-opening, anzelwe into yoba abe yilaa nto yi-opening batsman, abe yi-all-rounder. Umzekelo njengaba bantu bendithetha ngabo abongile. Uyi-wicket keeper ubona ibhola yonke ekuqalwe ngayo nje babekubholwa, yonke ibhola uyibona netrack uba ihamba njani na, i-slow injani na, ebefana uba uyongena ayobhetisha, akasoze alifumane lo thuba. Uyawusuka pro wicket keeping ayobhetisha number 9, number 8. Inoba ngumona qha kuphela. Enkosi.
The only explanation I could have is that it is jealousy, because there's no other plausible reason for why that happens. Players who are all-rounders are able to play as bowlers and as opening batsmen. But you would find that in these teams, Black players are not encouraged or given the opportunity intentionally to be all-rounders.
I think we have put all the questions that we would have loved to put to you. We can take the lunch adjournment now, but before we do that, it only leaves me to thank you very much for your determination to come and tell your story, even if it meant that in order for you to do so, you must express yourself in your mother tongue and in the language of your choice, which the Constitution of this country permits. You have provided us with insights into what you have been through from early childhood. And what impresses us is the fact that it seems to me that at the Ndzundzu household, cricket has become a pandemic. It has affected everyone, from you to another Ndzundzu's name, whose name I saw in the schedule. I don't know whether it's your daughter or your wife, but there seem to be a lot of Ndzundzus who are very keen on this sporting code. And therefore the insights you have given us into trials and tribulations which you have endured, but which did not deter you from loving this beautiful sport called cricket. That then causes us to feel very thankful for your availability to come and share with us and through us with the rest of the country some of the very traumatic experiences you experienced, and sometimes you felt some things can only be explained on the basis that you were being unfairly discriminated against because of your color. Obviously, there will be others who will hold different views, and they will be welcome to come and do so. But you must go away from this forum in the full knowledge that those of us who are sitting around this table, who have listened to your submission, as you were presenting it orally, we have read your affidavit, can only say we are thankful that you took the trouble to honor these hearings with your presence and preparedness to testify as you have done. As for the rest, time will tell what will come out of the entire exercise. But there's no doubt in our mind that these hearings would have been poorer if they didn't get your input. That is why, therefore, I need to thank you and say, sincerely, we all appreciate the time you took to come and converse with us on this topic.
Sifuna eli thuba sikubulele ngeli xesha ulithathileyo loba uzokuhlala kule hearing uchaze ngendlela odlale ngayo icricket nezinto odibene nazo kule ndlela ubuyihamba. Sibulela ngengcaciso yakho, sibulela ngento ba siqaphela ukuba icricket ayonto nje ethandwe nguwe, but nosapho lwakho luye lwayithanda, lwayiphila, njengoba sibona oondzundzu abanintsi abadlalayo nababandakanyekayo kwesi sport. Siyathembisa ke ukuba ii-submissions zakho ziviwe and kwaye ziza kuncedisa kwiziphumo zezi hearings. Siyabulela kwakhona.
Ndiyabulela nawe noxolo. You are a soldier because you were just called, say, hey, look, we need you. And you just came and you rose to the occasion. Thanks for, because I was very impressed with your interpretation. Kwanga ungenza ngolo hlobo nangenye imini xa sikubiza sithi hey Knox yeyele yiza ntokazi ke yakwanelana.
Siyabulela.
We will we are now at 12 o'clock and there is lunch time up to 1 o'clock. And I think this will be an appropriate time to take the lunch adjournment. We will adjourn until 1 o'clock, and we'll be back to hear further testimonies. Once again, thanks very much, Mr. Brian Ndzundzu.
Very much, Advocate. Kabulela.
Okay. We are adjourned.